I can always tell when somebody is stuck in their life versus when they're continuously growing. Like when you're stuck, you'll skip class once and tell yourself it's just this one time. But now it's finals and you're trying to relearn 3 months of content in just 3 hours. You scroll on TikTok for hours instead of studying and sleeping like you're supposed to. You swear you'll do better, but tomorrow it just happens again and again and again. You think to yourself, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe my purpose is to just sit stuck in this cycle forever. And what's super hard about this is you're gonna spend months, years of your life stuck in this cycle, trying to make something work that just isn't working. But you're still watching this, and that tells me something. That tells me that you genuinely care about yourself. Not a lot of people do, but you should know that you are not broken. You're only stuck because no one taught you how to recognize these cycles and how to break out of them. No one taught you how to fix these things that you can't see. You hear what I'm saying? No one actually taught you the right way to fix your habits. You can tap into peace and control when you learn how to properly break out of this cycle that keeps you stuck. And I'm gonna show you the 5 life lessons that help me to break my bad habits and replace them with good ones. And the faster you take what I'm about to say and actually apply it to your life, the faster you're gonna be saying yes to a life of happiness and control. So let's begin. These are the 5. Let's talk about the first one, motivation. Let's say there's 2 people that want to break their habits of procrastination. Now, one person stays stuck, scrolling on their phone till 3 a.m., even though they told themselves that they were gonna work on it and try and fix their bad habits. The other one was very easily able to stop. Now, like I said before, it's very easy to tell the difference between these 2 people. It's the one thing that I look for, and it's consistent in every single person that has succeeded in breaking their bad habits. And it's that they understand that motivation can't fix you. Motivation is like hype. It dies out very quickly. The first guy stayed stuck because he relied on that motivation. He relied on that hype. He's running in a constant loop that he doesn't fully know that he's in. And he doesn't understand the loop either, so he can't break free. He's waiting for that spark, that moment where it just clicks for him. But you have to remember, a spark always fizzles. But the other guy, he broke that bad habit not with hype, not with motivation, but with 2 things. The first is awareness. This is exactly how you should fix it. It's perfectly normal to be stuck in these loops, to be stuck in bad habits. But if you're not fully aware of the loop that you're stuck in and why it's happening, then you remain stuck. The loop is just gonna start over again and again and again. You'll never break free. Instead of waiting for that spark, waiting for that motivation to fire you up, start observing yourself. Do you feel mentally tired and drained when you hop into bed? Observe that, track that. Do you feel lazy all of a sudden every time you walk into your kitchen or your bedroom or your living room? Track that. When do you check out? When do you give up? When do you stop? Track those things, observe those things. So once you start doing that and becoming aware of who you are, now you have to tweak your environment to match that. You know now what causes you to check out, what causes you to give up. To beat procrastination, to beat any bad habit that you're trying to break, you need to tweak the environment around you. Because our reality outside of us tweaks our reality inside. So when you feel mentally tired, when you get into bed and you feel like scrolling, tweak your environment. Start setting your phone and your charger across your room. Replace scrolling with an audiobook or music that'll help you fall asleep. Maybe that means setting an alarm at a certain time to help you wind down. You have to stop relying on motivation and change your environment. That way you actually disrupt the loop instead of just continuing it. And how amazing is it that once you start to do this, you actually become more in control of your life. It means getting better sleep. It means getting more done. It means actually being more like a machine because you're installing these good, better habits that actually allow you to succeed in life. And until you become more aware of what causes you to check out and give up in life and what's negatively influencing you in your environment, without tweaking those things, you are missing out on your potential. The second lesson I learned has everything to do with time. Stop spending your time on stupid, foolish activities. You get 168 hours per week. 40 of those goes to sleep, 40 of those goes to work. That means you still have more than 80 hours a week to work with. You get to choose what you do in that time. You get to choose what you spend your time doing. You get to choose how you allocate that time. Learn how to stop wasting time on stupid time wasters. Us college students, for example, we are obsessed with trying to make everything look perfect. We're obsessed with trying to make things look good and look perfect and be right before we actually go and do them. But let me ask you something. Do you really need to color code your notes and pick out the right highlighter and set up the right template when you haven't even actually started studying for that test? Do you really need to make all these vision boards and ideas and plans for your life when you haven't even taken one simple step toward your goals? Think about it. Do you really need to organize your desk for the 5th time this week when you haven't even started that essay? Now, these things I mentioned, they're important and they're fun and they're enjoyable, but if you're not actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, then these just become a time waster. Learn to stop spending time on stupid time wasters. And here's another thing, you don't actually enjoy wasting time. These things you do, it's simply just an escape from your life. This is what being stuck actually looks like. It looks like distracting yourself from everything around you. It looks like distracting yourself from what you're supposed to be doing. It looks like doing a lot of things, just not the right ones. Now, everyone in the world feels this, by the way. When life gets hard, we just naturally, by default, look for ways to avoid it or go around that thing that's difficult. It's natural, it's human, but you have to understand that busyness isn't always progress. You're distracting what's actually getting you closer to that vision board, what's getting you closer to that big idea or that plan that you have for your life. It's distracting you from the future house that you want, or the future car that you want, or the future freedom or life or family that you want. And so if you don't ever realize how you are distracting yourself in your everyday life, you are not actually giving yourself the opportunity to go out and do something great, to go out and do something the way you should so that you feel loved and encouraged, not just from others, but from yourself. So ask yourself this question: what am I distracting myself from? Why am I doing that? What am I really afraid of? Now, another mistake I see people constantly make is that once they realize what distracts them, they constantly avoid what they're supposed to be doing. They avoid writing that essay. They avoid working hard for that freedom or that life or that family that they want for their future. And often we do this mainly because we're afraid. I said earlier that our generation loves to get things perfect. We love to get things right. And we're afraid if things don't go perfectly and if they don't go the way we want them to. And let me tell you, if it scares you to do something, if you feel afraid to do something, it's probably powerful. If you feel nervous before doing something, it probably means you're growing. You have to use that as a green light, not a red flag. So go ahead and take a look at whatever you want to achieve and just go, just start, because it's for your future. The third lesson I'm sharing that I learned is about willpower. I want you to imagine you're 100 years old tomorrow and you realize you've lived your whole life and never actually done anything meaningful. You've lived your whole life feeling drained. You've lived your whole life feeling like you weren't made out for anything. Do you really want to live like that? Is that how you want to live? You would really want to live a life full of regret where you blame yourself for being weak? No, nobody wants that. And if you answer no, you have a bigger problem as well, because by default, we humans, we run on something we call willpower. That's our energy source. But the problem is willpower drains. It doesn't last. It's not efficient. On those days where you sporadically decide to get your life together, but then give up by lunchtime, it's because you're running simply on willpower. And that's completely normal. That's how we humans are designed to operate. But you have to understand that willpower doesn't last. You need to learn to take control of this, because willpower will drain you, but systems will not. Systems don't rely on willpower. They don't rely on an energy source that drains. This is why systems are so powerful. It's because they run without that willpower or need for motivation or spark or anything. They're so powerful because they don't drain. Some of the most successful people in the world, they got to where they are not by using willpower, but by using systems. And once you begin to replace willpower with systems, you will become incredibly powerful. Instead of forgetting an assignment and telling yourself, oh, I'll just try harder to remember next time. Instead, set a reminder, set a calendar, set a routine. That is a system. Instead of skipping the gym after only going for a week, pack your gym bag the night before. Schedule your workouts the same time every week. Set reminders on your phone. That right there, that's a system. And so if you can go and put good systems in your life, go and put good systems in your life so that you can be happier. And what we call that is self-love. You need more of it. It suits you. The fourth lesson I'm sharing about is all about patterns, and this one is important. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, struggles to improve or fix their life more than the person that tries to do it all at one time. You don't need a whole new life plan. You don't need to change everything about yourself or completely rebrand who you are or your image. You don't need to try and overhaul all these changes into one day. That will cause you to burn out. Maturing is realizing that trying to do everything at once will cause you to do nothing at all. Doing everything at once, that is not how life works. That's not how life was meant to be. It's not how life was designed to be for us. Think about the iPhone or whatever device you're watching this on. Think about this for a second. You think the iPhone, you think this was created all at once? No, it wasn't. The first iPhone didn't even have an app store. But with every year, Apple has made super small improvements to slowly over time make the iPhone what it is. From better camera to having a faster chip to adding Face ID and widgets, and now we're on AI. And people love the iPhone so much now, but it required so many years of 1% upgrades to make it what it is today. Because real change happens quietly, one shift at a time. And that one small shift can trigger a chain reaction. So then you can grow into something and someone more beautiful. So go ahead and zoom into one simple thing that you can change. For me, it was my morning routine. For me, I hated starting my mornings off on a bad foot, filled with negativity and bad energy. So I made one small 1% change after another. First, I began praying in the mornings. Then once I got that down and in a regular routine, then I started opening my windows for more sunlight. Then I'd start playing upbeat music when I was ready and drinking a little bit of coffee and so forth and so on. You tweak just one small habit at a time and make those baby steps. And a lot of people I know have asked me before how I start my day off with so much positivity and energy. But from negative to positive, that one small tweak, that one small effort at the start will ripple outwards. And now you're no longer stuck, you are moving. The fifth lesson I'm sharing is for those who feel they're not meant to go out and do something great. If someone asked you right now, if you believed you were meant to do great things, what would you say? Would that question be hard or difficult to answer because you feel burnt out? Because maybe you feel broken or you feel stuck? If that's the case, that's completely normal. In fact, if you feel that way, that means you are closer than you actually think. You think just because it hasn't clicked for you yet, you think just because you haven't reached your goal yet, that it never will, that this is just who I am, stuck and broken. No. It is time to start believing in yourself and to take the reins so that you can wake up tomorrow, start your day strong, and feel proud knowing that you made it one step closer to your goal. You made it one step closer to where you want to be. People only begin to change in their life when they recognize the loop that they want to escape. We talked about this earlier with having that awareness and making those environment tweaks. And by recognizing that loop, you have to understand you are not behind. By recognizing that loop, you are in the process. You are already disrupting these loops, these bad habits. That is progress right there. And there will be moments where you feel like you are behind. But you have to understand that recognizing a problem solves half of it. And now your job is to just focus on the baby steps required to fix that other half. And so I just want you to keep noticing, to keep questioning, to keep doing what you know is best for you to do right now. That awareness of what's making you feel uncomfortable, that right there is the work. That right there is progress. And don't make yourself miserable because you are just starting. You are not behind. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. You're starting from insight. You're starting from how you've improved from past mistakes. And this is where the real change begins. Once you do that, step by step, life becomes more enjoyable little by little. Now, these 5 lessons help me to break these bad habits and replace them with good ones. Now, this video was the unlock, but the video that just popped up on screen, that is where you start moving. It's the small habit that I recommend implementing into your life first. But before you check that out, just know this: I am not here to motivate you. I am here to build with you. I'm here to work with you on your level so that we can grow and become our best selves. So check out that video, and you got this.